good. I look good. I look exactly the way you wish you could. I look good. I look good. Come on. Come on. I look good.
Formative friends, and this is Formative Live, and I welcome all of you here today. This is our time to connect with each other. Formative is the first private, positive social media network dedicated to your health, healthcare, and fitness. And so I welcome all of our members, all of our Formative friends. Today, we're going to be talking about weight loss. It's one of the most common questions that I receive as a clinical pharmacist with regard to what's the best way to lose weight. And I'm going to share with you my own personal experience. You know, I'm 57 years old, living in California. And again, we're coming live from California. And I find myself with a few extra pounds which I need to lose. When I was a teenager, I was an overweight, kind of nerdy, reading books, going to school, not getting a lot of activity, and I found myself at the age of 17 significantly overweight. And back then, there weren't a lot of diet pills, diet plans. There wasn't a lot of help. The internet was just starting to be born as a concept. So again, I needed to do this kind of on my own, with reading on my own and making some guidelines, some rules for myself on how I can lose this weight gradually. So that's what we're going to talk about today, how I did it when I was a teenager and now how I need to do it again and lose a few more pounds as well. So that's what we're going to talk about. Feel free to text us live or send your questions in to info@pharmative.com. How to lose weight means we need to go back a little bit to the blackboard and need to learn a few facts. Facts in general about the United States, facts about yourself, your diet, your activity level, and how many calories you consume per day. So let's do that. Let's go back to the blackboard. And I think it's no surprise to many Americans the epidemic we have with obesity and being overweight. And unfortunately, that leads to a lot of chronic illnesses. So here are just a few statistics to start off with as we do a basic overview of obesity in America. It's estimated that 117 million people have one or more preventable chronic diseases which may be related to poor quality of eating, poor nutrition, and lack of physical activity. And that's a startling statistic, and I think we all need to kind of absorb that. If we're greater than 1/3 of the American population is overweight. In 2008, it was estimated medical costs linked to obesity was at least $147 billion. Okay, now this is something that really should not be difficult to overcome, and I'm going to show you what I did, and I'm going to show you what other experts recommend as well. And then finally, in 2012, the total estimated cost of diagnosing a diabetic, and we know that for some diabetic patients, obesity is a risk factor for developing type 2 diabetes. That cost was $245 billion. That's direct costs as well as indirect costs. So again, this is a huge problem because we know that many illnesses are linked to obesity. For example, high blood pressure, diabetes, and a number of others. Even cancer is linked to obesity. So what are we going to do about it? We are basically going to simplify our weight loss program. And the very first thing I'm going to tell you to do as a clinical pharmacist is to throw away those diet pills. They don't work, okay? Save your money, and all you're buying is possibly a placebo effect with side effects, which isn't even a placebo effect. So again, they just don't work. And those diet pills that have stimulants incorporated as an active ingredient can cause a lot of side effects. You can become irritable, you can experience insomnia, it can raise your blood pressure, and eventually you're going to have to come off the diet pills, and that's going to adjust your ability to lose weight. It's going to change your diet and so forth. So the bottom line is just throw the diet pills away. Don't buy them. They don't work. Point number 2, it's all about reviewing your daily intake of calories. All right. So essentially most food packaging, information that's available to you online will give you the basic calories for any commonly consumed food item. And you should have a general reasonable idea about how many calories you're taking in and how many calories your activity level is consuming per day. And you're going to do this by reviewing your diet over the last 7 days. Third, what's your activity level? Because a lot of people just don't get enough of activities. And those are the fun things like running and biking and walking and skiing and swimming and all those things. And there are many resources available online, and I'm going to steer you in the right direction to a very user-friendly website so that you can estimate how many calories you're consuming on an average on a daily basis. Okay, 3 steps. Okay, the PHARMATIVE weight loss plan is just 3 steps. And the first is you're going to take your current diet as it is today and gradually over time, and I'm talking about weeks and months, you're going to change it slowly over time to another kind of diet which is healthier, which is more dense in nutrients, which has more fiber in it, more fruits and vegetables, and lean meats, and beans and rice, and all of those healthy things that we know as consumers are healthy for us. We're going to take our diet today and look at what's the highest item in my daily diet of calories. Usually it's associated with high in saturated fats or high in sugar. Those are the foods that we're going to slowly replace over time first. And that's going to gradually reduce our caloric intake. And then while we're doing that, we're moving on to the second step, which is gradually increasing your daily activity. And that can be in whatever form is most convenient for you. My mother was 60 years old and she was overweight and a diabetic. And we went out to Sears. Some of you in the Northeast will remember Sears, and Sears still has quite a few stores out there. Anyways, we got a treadmill for her so that she could exercise, and she did that on her porch 5 to 10 years, and I'm convinced that it increased her longevity. So getting up, getting moving, getting some exercise, increase your activity level, which will increase the amount of calories you're consuming. So here's the simple formula. We want to get an extra 500 calories burned each day. And if we do that, over the course of 7 days, you will lose 1 pound. Okay? That's a healthy amount of weight to lose per week. Our goal is primarily just to lose 2 to 4 pounds per month. So again, all you have to do is look at your current diet, what's high in saturated fats, what's high in sugar, and start removing those from your diet and replacing them with healthier options like fresh fruit and vegetables, lean meats, and so forth. These are the resources that you can go to at health.gov, which can give you a better understanding and allow you to individualize your diet and your activity level. And again, it's all about gradually changing your behavior over time and replacing it with a healthier diet and more activity so that you're burning more calories than you're consuming. Behavioral modification, human behavioral modification does take time. It's hard to get out of certain habits. So that's why in this particular plan, gradually reducing your caloric intake and gradually increasing your exercise so that we hit this mark of consuming more, approximately 500 calories per day, which will allow you to lose 2 to 4 pounds per month. That's all you have to do. That's very simple to do. We can all do it today. I'm gonna start today, and I hope you do too. So that's it for Pharmative Live this week. I'll see you next week. And by the way, I want you to all stay healthy.
I look good, I look good, I look exactly the way you wish you could. I look good, I look good, come on. Come on. I look good,